Okay, Murdoch, here's the way it's going to be, brother. You've disrespected Donald J. Trump long enough, okay? They don't respect you. Read the depositions. The deposition, they have a fear, a loathing, and contempt for you. The Murdochs immediately have to start covering President Trump.
I want to talk about the empty seats at C-PAC. There are many. Looks like a lot of people are sitting this one out.
Instead of supporting woke companies who hate you and use your money to further their political agenda. So go to Kim's Medals. It's kind of catchy.
Things haven't been going well for MAGA. It's getting tougher every day.
I remember C-PAC, 30 plus years ago. It's very different now, very Trumpy, right?
Not just very Trumpy. He's not just the top draw, but the entire thing seems to be branded around Donald Trump.
Guilfoyle used her time to promote Mike Lindell's pillows. There they are, right there. And to urge retirees to invest their retirement funds in precious metals through her promotional website, where she gets a cut.
It was once a testing ground for conservatives and Republicans. It is now a testing ground for MAGA. That's not necessarily conservative, and some people argue it's not very Republican.
So C-PAC is a business, and C-PAC has evolved to be what is good for business. And what is good for business right now is MAGA.
So if you're going to have a phone, you can give your money to AT&T and watch it get weaponized against everything that you believe, or you can go to Patriot Mobile. Like, it's that simple.
You can use the code Don Jr. for free activation.
And as a Republican, you might not want to find yourself in the same montage that others certainly want to be found in.
Putting a sign outside my office door that said there's only two genders, male and female, trust the science.
I think we had to spend 4 or 5 days asking the Chinese spy balloon what its pronouns were before we were willing to shoot it down.
And to determine whether or not Joe Biden, first of all, lied to the American people. I think we're going to be all right on that answer. But secondly, is Joe Biden compromised?
When you think of the George Santoses and obviously Donald Trump with his ties and his vodka and his steaks, and even Alex Jones with his vitamins or whatever he sells, the conservative movement in the year 2023 it does feel like an infomercial. And I wonder how much you think the big con, the grift, is central to the party's identity at this point.
Well, Alex, first of all, I join fellow patriot Donald Jr. in urging our listeners, the true patriots out there, to make a check today out to Christians Against Secular Humanism, or CASH, because this is a grift pure and simple. They ought to put a fence around C-PAC and put a bunco charge on all of them. It's unbelievable. I didn't know God had an opinion about cell phone companies.
Trump, all the merchandise, the shirts, the bumper stickers, everything is either Trump or Trump affiliated, and it's a real who's who of the MAGA world. Earlier today, we saw Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz speak. Just moments ago was Kimberly Guilfoyle and Don Jr. And given how Trump-centric it is, and by the way, of course, all of these people are calling for Trump to be president again in 2024.
The grassroots would rant about the establishment, many people like me, but the anti-establishment has its own establishment, and their trade show is C-PAC.
The problem for Republicans is that there are enough true believers to guarantee Trump's nomination.
Hell, when I was chairman of the College of Republicans at Georgetown a million years ago, right after Reagan got elected, we'd go there and it was the best party in town. And it reflected the young energy inside the Republican Party. This thing now is a scam.
And absolutely, the Republican Party and what it used to stand for is completely scrambled by Trump and by a lot of other people. Are they pro-defense? Well, not in the way they used to be. Are they pro-business? Not if they can pick a fight with a business for being woke. Yeah. So it's just a different party.
But there's just not enough non-MAGAites or trumpets, or whatever the hell they call themselves, to ensure any kind of victory. It's over for them, and they know it.
But when you talk about the energy and enthusiasm, I mean, C-PAC may be a clown show that is offering, $9.99 gold coins or whatever.
News sponsor and MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell seen here receiving the 10 Commandments from a Wendy's sign.
But at the same time, it does represent some certain part of the GOP, does it not? I mean, does it not represent the most animated part of the base that is therefore essential to those who would like to keep power over at Club for Growth?
MAGA's taken over the Republican Party, and it's never going back. Anybody who doesn't want Trump to rule, you better create another party, because it's over.
If you can get the aluminum foil hats long enough to get their attention and pull the people running up and down the hallways hawking this stuff at C-PAC, you know, there's not a lot of correlation. It is a symptom of the weakness of the Trump thing, not the strength that he owns this shrinking island.
And C-PAC is the perfect example of that. It's MAGA now. There was a time when C-PAC meant something. It was shitty right-wing bullshit. Take from the poor and give to the rich. But at least it was against fascism. They were damn sure against communism. What happened to those Republicans? Don't see them around much anymore. And that's the problem.
And when I think about the political figures who speak at C-PAC, it's kind of the grifter class. But money is the central thing that ties it all together.
I am a Trump supporter because he's a warrior. He's the only one that can pull this through.
This is actually something we heard a lot. A lot of people who support Donald Trump saying that they also loved Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, but they just didn't believe that it was his turn. Now, obviously, the Florida governor is not here. He and several other of these major potential 2024 candidates are in Florida at a private donor retreat hosted by Club for Growth, one that notably former President Trump was not invited to.
The Club for Growth thing is a donor club. That is a meeting of people who can write $100,000, $500,000 checks to your super PAC. So the candidates will break down the door to get in there and kind of do their 10 minutes. They're scoping for significant donors or bundlers. The C-PAC thing, the C-PAC now is like the 25 Japanese troops in a cave somewhere in 1953 waiting for the emperor to tell them to attack.
They're still using T-Mobile. But then so is the insurrectionist wing as well.
MAGA has taken over. And all these Republicans who think they can be candidates for president, you're gonna have to get another party. Because you got no hope unless you're MAGA. And if you're running against Donald Trump, you're not MAGA.
I don't think he should go up against Trump.
Sorry, Ron DeSantis. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.
And it is Trump's room. To your point about the business part of it is absolutely dead on correct.
DeSantis is skipping C-PAC. That's the big Republican, well, I guess it's conservative, but it's all Republicans, of course, convention they have every year. But, of course, the big star, guess who? Yes, Donald Trump spoke. It's in Maryland. And I don't get this about Republicans. They wheel out this grotesque peroxide blonde. Under 5 pounds of makeup. But the thing they're most upset about is drag queen story hour. I don't get that.